Have you ever found yourself lining up your vitamins each morning, thinking you're doing all the right things for your heart, your brain, and your future with family? Maybe, like so many, you quietly worry about staying sharp or avoiding a stroke, but trust that taking supplements is just part of getting older. But what if I told you, despite everything we've heard, not every vitamin is as safe as it seems, especially for those of us in our golden years? It's easy to believe vitamins are always helpful, but sometimes the smallest pills can carry the biggest risks. Risks we rarely talk about, yet that can change everything overnight. In this video, I'll reveal the 9 surprising vitamins that may raise your stroke risk, and why the answers aren't as simple as we once thought. Stay with me. What you'll discover could protect your best years ahead. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Vitamin E. For many older Americans, starting the day often means reaching for that familiar bottle of vitamin E, along with their other daily supplements. It feels almost automatic, a ritual born from decades of advice in magazines, doctors' offices, and friendly conversations at the local diner. Vitamin E has always been talked about as a hero for heart health, skin, and even memory. Perhaps you remember a time when everyone suddenly started buying it, convinced that it was the secret to staying strong and keeping illness at bay as the years went by. Maybe you've even felt a sense of comfort, believing this tiny capsule would keep your body resilient against whatever life throws your way. But here's something we rarely pause to consider. What if this habit, so common and well-intentioned, could quietly be putting us at risk? What if vitamin E, which we've trusted for so long, might not be the simple answer we hoped for, especially as we age? Most people assume that vitamins can only help and that more is better. After all, it's just a vitamin, right? But sometimes, the truths we accept without question deserve a closer look. Let's look at what happens in the body with vitamin E. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant, protecting cells from damage. It's found naturally in foods like almonds, sunflower seeds, and spinach. In normal amounts from a balanced diet, it plays a helpful role. The trouble begins when we start adding high-dose supplements on top of what we already get from food. You see, vitamin E has a unique effect. It can thin the blood. In moderation, this can sometimes be helpful. But in larger amounts, especially for those of us over 65, too much vitamin E makes it harder for our blood to clot. This can silently raise the risk of serious bleeding, including in the brain, a leading cause of stroke. The risk goes up even more if you're already taking blood thinners, aspirin, or other medications for your heart or circulation. Here's the thing, our bodies become more sensitive as we age. What was harmless in our 30s or 40s can become risky in our 70s or 80s. Studies have shown that taking high-dose vitamin E, typically 400 IU or more daily, is linked to a higher chance of bleeding strokes in older adults. Most people have no idea, and few doctors bring it up unless asked directly. After all, vitamins are sold over the counter, so they must be safe, right? Unfortunately, safety often depends on dose, age, and what else is happening in your body. So what should you do if you've been taking vitamin E for years, or if you're thinking of adding it to your routine? The good news is you don't have to give up the idea of caring for your health. Instead, just make a simple shift. Focus on getting vitamin E naturally from food, and if you want to take a supplement, always check with your doctor first. Bring all your vitamins and medications to your next appointment. Let your healthcare provider know exactly what you're taking. For many people, just eating a handful of nuts or adding a spoonful of seeds to oatmeal each day is more than enough. Supplements may only be necessary for specific medical reasons, and only under a doctor's care. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Mr. Harris, who is 76 and always prided himself on being proactive about his health. He started taking vitamin E in his 50s after reading about its supposed benefits. But after a routine checkup, we reviewed all his pills and realized that, combined with his blood thinner, his risk of bleeding was far too high. With his doctor's help, he switched to getting vitamin E from whole foods and stopped the supplement. Not only did his energy improve, but he also felt peace of mind knowing he wasn't putting himself at unnecessary risk. Remember, every small choice can make a big difference in these golden years. It's not about living in fear, but about living smart. Don't be afraid to ask questions and seek advice. Your health is worth it. By making thoughtful decisions, you can enjoy more years of laughter, family dinners, and the freedom to do what you love. So next time you reach for that bottle, take a moment to think, is this the best choice for me today? You're never too old to learn something new and protect the life you've built. 2. Vitamin A. For many of us, vitamin A has always been the good guy in the world of nutrition. Maybe you remember your parents telling you to eat your carrots so you could see better at night. Or perhaps you've seen countless articles over the years promising that vitamin A keeps your skin glowing, your vision sharp, and your immune system strong. It's easy to feel a little proud when you scoop out a serving of sweet potatoes or sprinkle extra spinach on your plate, trusting you're giving your body what it needs to thrive. And as the years go by, you might reach for a multivitamin or even a separate vitamin A supplement, just to be sure you're covering all your bases, especially with the quiet fear that vision loss, brittle bones, or slower healing might be creeping up with age. But what if this well-meaning habit could turn against you? What if getting too much vitamin A, especially from pills and supplements, might quietly put your health at risk instead of keeping you safe? We often assume that if a little is good, more must be better, but our bodies don't always agree. The truth is far more complicated, especially as we age. Here's what's going on beneath the surface. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it's stored in your body, mainly in the liver. While a steady supply from fruits, vegetables, and dairy is healthy and essential, taking too much, often from supplements or fortified foods, can cause that supply to build up over time. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, your body can't easily flush out the excess. When there's too much vitamin A in your system, it starts causing problems. High levels can lead to increased blood pressure inside the skull, headaches, dizziness, joint pain, and even fragile bones. Ironically, the very things older adults are trying to prevent. But perhaps most concerning, especially for those of us over 65, is the hidden effect on our blood vessels and the brain. Too much vitamin A can put extra stress on your arteries, raising your blood pressure and increasing the risk of bleeding, particularly if you're also on medications for the heart or blood. Some studies suggest that excessive vitamin A can also interfere with the way your body processes other vital nutrients, leading to a dangerous imbalance. The signs are often subtle: fatigue, muscle aches, mood changes, or frequent falls that we might chalk up to just getting older, when in reality, it could be a warning sign from our body. So, what's the gentle, practical solution? The first step is simply awareness. Take a close look at your multivitamins, fortified cereals, and any separate supplements. You may be surprised by how much vitamin A you're getting each day. The recommended daily allowance for adults over 65 is much lower than you might think, and most people easily reach this amount just from food. Focus on enjoying vitamin A from natural sources like carrots, spinach, kale, sweet potatoes, and dairy, rather than relying on pills. If your doctor has recommended a supplement, ask for a review and make sure the dose is right for your age and health conditions. I remember meeting Mrs. Franklin, a vibrant 80-year-old who loved trying the latest health fads. She started taking a high-dose vitamin A supplement after reading about its benefits for aging eyes. Over the next year, she noticed she felt more tired and unsteady, but she never connected the dots. During her annual checkup, we reviewed her supplements, and her doctor realized her vitamin A levels were sky-high. By switching to a balanced diet and stopping the supplement, Mrs. Franklin regained her energy, felt steadier on her feet, and found new confidence in managing her health. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let this be your reminder. More isn't always better, especially as our bodies change with time. Trust in the wisdom of balance and the power of whole foods. If you ever wonder whether your daily habits are helping or hurting, don't be afraid to ask. You deserve to feel strong, clear-headed, and safe in every season of life. Your health story is still being written. Make every chapter count. 3. Vitamin D overdose. For so many Americans, especially those over 65, vitamin D has become a household name, often referred to as the sunshine vitamin. Maybe you remember your doctor telling you to get outside for fresh air and sunlight, or hearing on the news that vitamin D could help keep your bones strong and boost your immune system. Many seniors, with good reason, have made vitamin D a part of their daily routine, especially in the colder months when sunlight is harder to find. You might even keep a bottle right next to your morning coffee, taking your daily dose with the same faith that you're protecting your future health. But let me ask you, have you ever wondered if it's possible to have too much of a good thing? It feels natural to assume that if some vitamin D is good for you, then more must be even better. We want to do everything we can to avoid weak bones, falls, or illnesses as we age. Yet the truth is, with vitamins, there really can be too much of a good thing, especially with supplements. What most people don't realize is that vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means your body stores any excess in your tissues, rather than flushing it out quickly like vitamin C or B vitamins. When you take more than you need, especially in high-dose supplements over time, vitamin D can start to cause real problems. The most serious risk is something called hypercalcemia, which is when your blood has too much calcium. This extra calcium doesn't just disappear. It can build up in your arteries, kidneys, or even your brain. High calcium levels can lead to confusion, weakness, constipation, kidney stones, and, most importantly for seniors, a higher risk of abnormal blood clotting. Those blood clots can quietly increase your risk of having a stroke, which is something no one wants to face. Even surprisingly, some studies have found that older adults taking very high doses of vitamin D had more falls and fractures, not fewer. The body works best with balance, not extremes. For most seniors, it only takes a modest amount of vitamin D to meet their needs, and your doctor can help you figure out the right dose, often much less than what's in some over-the-counter pills. So what's the best way forward? First, check your supplements. Many contain much more vitamin D than you might realize. If you're already eating foods fortified with vitamin D, such as milk or cereal, those count too. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor for a blood test to see if you're low on vitamin D before you start taking extra. If you do need a supplement, make sure you're only taking what's recommended, not extra for good measure. And remember, a little safe sunlight, when possible, can also help your body produce just what it needs. Let me share the story of Mr. Peterson, a retired teacher who loved gardening but worried about his bone health after a neighbor's fall. He started taking large doses of vitamin D every day, thinking it would be his secret weapon against aging. Over time, he started to feel tired, achy, and noticed some confusion. A routine checkup revealed high calcium in his blood, and his doctor immediately suspected too much vitamin D. After adjusting his dose and returning to more natural sources of vitamin D, Mr. Peterson's energy returned, and so did his peace of mind. Always remember, taking care of your health doesn't mean doing more, but doing what's right for you. Don't hesitate to speak up and ask questions. The goal is to support your golden years with smart choices, not shortcuts. You've earned the right to enjoy every day feeling safe and strong. Trust in balance, and know that sometimes less truly is more. 4. Vitamin K. If you're like many older adults in America, you may have started paying more attention to your vitamins and diet after your doctor mentioned the importance of keeping your blood healthy. Maybe you've heard that vitamin K is good for your bones, or that leafy greens like kale and spinach are a superfood for seniors. It's a comforting thought, knowing that just by eating your vegetables or taking a multivitamin, you're doing something positive for your body every day. Perhaps you've proudly filled your plate with broccoli at family gatherings, thinking you're one step ahead in your health journey. It feels good to take control, especially in a world where so much can feel uncertain. But what if something as simple as a vitamin could complicate things, especially if you're taking other medications? Most of us assume that natural means safe. After all, how could getting more vitamins, especially from food, ever be a problem? Isn't vitamin K essential for strong bones and healthy blood? The answer isn't as simple as we'd like to believe. Here's the science, explained in a way that makes sense. Vitamin K plays a crucial role in helping your blood clot. This is essential. You want your blood to clot properly if you get a cut. However, for seniors, especially those taking blood thinners like warfarin, this clotting ability can become a double-edged sword. Blood thinners are designed to prevent dangerous clots that can lead to heart attacks or strokes. If you suddenly start eating a lot more vitamin K, or begin taking vitamin K supplements without your doctor's guidance, it can reduce the effectiveness of your blood thinner, making it harder to control your medication and increasing your risk of stroke or blood clots. It's not just about the medication either. As we age, our bodies process vitamins differently. The balance becomes even more delicate. While vitamin K from a healthy diet is generally safe, large or inconsistent changes in your intake can throw off the fine balance your doctor is working to maintain. So, what's the gentle, everyday solution? The key is consistency and communication. If you're on a blood thinner, keep your intake of vitamin K steady. Don't suddenly cut out or load up on leafy greens or supplements. Bring a list of your favorite foods and any vitamins you take to your doctor's appointment. Work together to make a plan that keeps your blood just where it should be. For most seniors, getting vitamin K from a balanced diet, including greens like kale, spinach, and broccoli, is the safest way. Supplements are usually only necessary if prescribed for a specific reason. Let me tell you about Mrs. Johnson, a spirited 79-year-old who loved gardening and proudly ate salads from her backyard every day. When she started a new medication for her heart, she didn't think twice about her lunch routine. But soon, her blood tests were off, and her doctor noticed her medication wasn't working as it should. By sitting down together and mapping out a plan to keep her diet consistent, Mrs. Johnson was able to keep enjoying her fresh veggies and stay healthy, too. Her story is a gentle reminder. Sometimes it's not about making dramatic changes, but about working with your body and your care team. If you're ever unsure about your vitamins or medications, remember, you don't have to figure it out alone. Your doctor, your pharmacist, and even your family are there to support you. Never hesitate to ask questions or bring up concerns. It's your right to understand what goes into your body and how it affects your life. Staying curious and informed is one of the best ways to protect your health, enjoy your independence, and keep writing new chapters full of energy and connection. Your story matters. Let's make it a healthy one, together. 5. High-dose vitamin C. For generations, vitamin C has been a go-to remedy in American homes. Maybe you remember your mother handing you a glass of orange juice at the first sign of a sniffle, or perhaps you've read countless magazine articles praising vitamin C for boosting immunity and warding off colds. Even now, it's common to see vitamin C tablets or powdered packets lining drugstore shelves, promising extra energy and protection. As we age, many of us look for every possible edge to stay well, and taking high-dose vitamin C seems like a simple, safe step, a bit of peace of mind with breakfast or before bed. But here's something most people never question. Can there be too much of a good thing, even with something as familiar as vitamin C? It's tempting to believe that, if a little helps, more must be better. After all, it's just a vitamin, water-soluble, harmless, and natural. But the reality is, especially for older adults, that our bodies aren't always equipped to handle large doses, and sometimes the risks outweigh the benefits. Let's take a closer look at what's happening in the body. Vitamin C is, indeed, important for immune function, collagen production, and helping wounds heal. The recommended daily amount for older adults is about 75 to 90 milligrams, an amount you can easily get from a small glass of orange juice, a serving of strawberries, or a handful of bell peppers. However, when you regularly take high-dose supplements, sometimes 500 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, or even more per day, the body is forced to deal with the excess. Most of it is flushed out, but not before your kidneys, digestive system, and blood vessels have to process the load. In older adults, who may already have sensitive kidneys or high blood pressure, too much vitamin C can cause new problems. It can raise your risk of developing kidney stones, upset your stomach, and perhaps most surprisingly, increase your blood pressure. Recent research has shown that high-dose vitamin C may raise the risk of certain types of strokes, especially for people with a history of heart disease or high blood pressure. The vitamin can interact with medications, impact how your body manages salt and fluid, and, if you're already at risk, tip the balance in the wrong direction. The signs can be subtle: a little more dizziness than usual, swelling in the feet, or a sudden spike in blood pressure at your next checkup. It's easy to overlook these changes, thinking they're just another part of getting older. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So, what can you do to protect yourself without giving up on your health goals? The simplest answer is to turn to food first. Bright, colorful fruits and vegetables offer plenty of vitamin C, along with other nutrients that work together to support your body. If you're considering a supplement or already take one, talk with your doctor or pharmacist about the right amount for you, especially if you have a history of kidney problems, heart issues, or take medications for blood pressure. I'll never forget Mr. Lee, a cheerful 82-year-old who swore by his daily megadose vitamin C tablets. For years, he believed they were his secret weapon for staying active. But after a spell of unexplained high blood pressure and a painful kidney stone, his doctor asked him to stop the supplements and rely on fruits instead. Within months, his symptoms eased, and he was relieved to know he could still take care of himself, just in a smarter, safer way. The truth is, your health isn't about doing more, but doing what's right for you. Sometimes, the old wisdom is best: moderation, variety, and listening to your body. If you're ever in doubt, ask for help. There's no shame in learning or adjusting your habits, especially if it means more healthy years to spend with the people and activities you love. Take care of yourself. Your best days are still ahead. 6. Vitamin B6. For many Americans, the world of B vitamins is a maze of promises. More energy, better mood, sharper memory. If you're like most people over 65, you might have heard about vitamin B6 from a friend, a doctor, or a magazine article touting its benefits for brain health and nerve function. Maybe you've added a vitamin B complex or B6 pill to your daily lineup, hoping for just a bit more clarity and pep in your step. It seems harmless enough. After all, it's just a vitamin, and we all want to stay as healthy and independent as possible. But what if taking extra vitamin B6, especially in high doses, could do more harm than good? It's easy to believe that more of a good vitamin can only help. Isn't B6 essential for nerves, blood, and memory? The reality, though, is that with age, our bodies process vitamins differently, and what was safe at 30 or 40 doesn't always work the same way in our 70s or 80s. Let's unravel the science. Vitamin B6 is important for keeping nerves in the brain working properly, for making red blood cells, and for helping the body turn food into energy. It's found in many foods: bananas, chickpeas, fish, chicken, potatoes, and most people get plenty from a balanced diet. But here's the catch. In supplement form, B6 can build up in the body over time, especially if you're taking high doses every day. Unlike some other vitamins, excess B6 doesn't always wash away easily. Too much B6 can damage nerves, leading to tingling, numbness, or even trouble with balance and walking. Symptoms that can sneak up so slowly you might blame them on just getting older. Recent studies have found that chronic high doses of vitamin B6, especially more than 100 milligrams per day, can also affect blood vessel health in seniors, possibly increasing the risk for circulation problems or even stroke. And the tricky part? The signs often appear gradually, making it hard to connect them to your daily supplement. So what's the gentle, practical solution? First, check your multivitamin and any B-complex supplements. Many pills contain much more B6 than you need, sometimes even several times the recommended daily amount. For most adults over 65, you only need about 1.5 to 2 milligrams per day, which is easy to get from food alone. If you're taking supplements, talk with your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you have symptoms like numbness or trouble walking, or if you're on other medications. There's no need to be embarrassed or worried. Your healthcare team's job is to help you thrive, not just survive. Let me share the story of Mr. Thompson, a retired postman who prided himself on staying active well into his 70s. When he began having numbness in his feet and occasional stumbling, he chalked it up to old age. But during a routine medication review, his doctor noticed he'd been taking high-dose B6 for years. By stopping the supplement and focusing on a B6-rich diet, Mr. Thompson's symptoms slowly improved. He found comfort in knowing he hadn't lost his independence after all. It was simply a matter of making smarter choices. So remember, health isn't just about adding more. It's about balance, awareness, and the wisdom that comes from experience. Don't hesitate to ask questions about your supplements or to make a change if something doesn't feel right. Your body is always sending signals. Listen with curiosity and trust that even small adjustments can lead to bigger, brighter days ahead. Your best years can still be full of movement, laughter, and the confidence to enjoy every moment. 7. Vitamin B12 in certain cases. For many older Americans, vitamin B12 holds a special place in the medicine cabinet. Maybe your doctor has mentioned its importance for memory, or perhaps a friend recommended B12 shots after complaining of low energy. You might even recall a time when you felt more forgetful, a little off balance, or just not yourself, and wondered if B12 could be the answer. With so many ads promising sharper minds and brighter days, it's no wonder that B12 supplements are popular among seniors. Taking that daily pill or monthly shot can feel like a small act of hope, one more way to keep age at bay. But here's a question we don't often ask. Is it possible for vitamin B12, when taken in high doses or without clear need, to do more harm than good? The belief that B12 is always safe is deeply rooted. After all, it's water-soluble, and we've been told the body gets rid of what it doesn't use. But as we grow older, our bodies change, and sometimes too much of a good thing can bring unexpected trouble, especially when combined with certain health conditions or medications. Let's look at what happens behind the scenes. Vitamin B12 is essential for making healthy red blood cells, supporting nerve function, and keeping the mind sharp. It's naturally found in animal products like meat, eggs, and dairy, which means some older adults, especially those with digestive issues, can develop deficiencies. That's why doctors may check B12 levels and recommend supplements or shots for people who really need them. However, in certain cases, especially when large doses are taken just in case or bought online without medical advice, B12 can accumulate or interact with other medications in ways we don't expect. Some studies have suggested that high levels of B12 in the blood, particularly from supplements rather than food, may be linked to an increased risk of blood clots or stroke in people with certain underlying conditions. It's rare, but if you already have trouble with your kidneys, a history of heart disease, or take other medications that affect how your blood clots, B12 can sometimes tip the balance. Signs of a problem may be subtle: swelling, sudden headache, or feeling more tired or confused than usual, easy to overlook in the busy rhythm of life. What's the gentle, practical approach? First, talk with your doctor before starting or increasing any B12 supplement. A simple blood test can show whether you actually need more or if your levels are already healthy. If you eat a balanced diet and don't have digestive or absorption problems, you may not need extra B12 at all. For those who do need a supplement, stick to the recommended dose and bring your complete vitamin list to your next appointment. your doctor can help you avoid hidden risks. Take the story of Mrs. Parker, a 75-year-old who started B12 injections on the advice of a well-meaning friend. She soon noticed swelling in her ankles and occasional dizziness, but didn't connect the dots. During a checkup, her doctor discovered her B12 levels were much higher than necessary and recommended stopping the injections. Within a few months, Mrs. Parker's symptoms eased, and she felt more balanced, grateful for the chance to tune into her body's true needs. Remember, protecting your health isn't about doing what everyone else does, but about listening to your own body and working with trusted professionals. Ask questions, share your concerns, and stay curious. Sometimes the best medicine is simple: moderation, balance, and a willingness to learn. The journey of healthy aging is yours to shape, one thoughtful choice at a time. And your best days, clear-minded and full of energy, are still ahead. 8. High-dose multivitamins. If you open the bathroom cabinet or the kitchen drawer in many American homes, you'll likely find at least one bottle of multivitamins. Maybe you have one, too, a big, colorful pill that promises to cover all your bases, keep your body running smoothly, and fill in any gaps that aging or a busy life might leave behind. For many seniors, taking a multivitamin is a comforting daily ritual, a habit formed by years of well-meaning advice from doctors, TV commercials, and even family members. It feels like an easy way to stay in control and support your health, especially when so much else about aging can feel unpredictable. But have you ever wondered if all those extra vitamins and minerals, especially in high doses, might not be as harmless as they seem? Most of us grew up hearing, "It can't hurt, your body will just get rid of the extra." But for those of us over 65, the truth is a little more complicated. The idea that more is better doesn't always apply to vitamins, and sometimes too much can quietly work against us. Let's peel back the label and see what's going on. Multivitamins often contain a long list of nutrients: vitamin A, C, D, E, K, and a whole alphabet of B vitamins, along with minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium. While these are all important in the right amounts, taking them together in high doses, especially on top of a healthy diet, can overload your body. As we age, our liver and kidneys may not clear excess nutrients as quickly as before, which means certain vitamins can build up to unsafe levels. High-dose multivitamins have been linked in some studies to increased risks of stroke, heart problems, and even certain cancers when used for years without a clear medical need. For example, too much vitamin E can thin the blood. Excess vitamin A can weaken bones and raise blood pressure, and too much iron or calcium can put extra stress on your heart and kidneys. Most people don't feel any immediate effects. They may just notice more indigestion, headaches, or a sense of slowing down, which is often blamed on aging. But quietly, the body is working overtime to handle all the extras, and over time, the risks add up. What's a safer, more practical approach? First, take a look at what you're eating. Most seniors who enjoy a varied diet, lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and some lean proteins, are already getting most of what they need. If your doctor recommends a supplement, ask for a specific reason and stick to the dose suggested. Avoid mega or high-potency formulas unless there's a true deficiency. And remember, your pharmacist can be a great ally. Bring all your pills, prescription and over-the-counter, to your next checkup, and ask for help in spotting any risky overlaps. Consider the story of Mr. Miller, a retired firefighter who prided himself on staying healthy and independent. He started taking a high-potency multivitamin after seeing a commercial that promised more energy and better focus. Over the next year, he developed kidney issues and noticed his blood pressure creeping up. After a review with his doctor, he learned that many of his symptoms were likely caused by a buildup of certain vitamins and minerals. By switching to a regular food-focused diet and stopping the extra pills, he felt lighter, sharper, and much more at ease. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Remember, Health in your golden years isn't about collecting the most bottles or chasing every new health trend. It's about balance, wisdom, and trusting your own experience. If you're ever unsure, reach out to your healthcare team. You've earned these years, and with a little care, you can enjoy them with more confidence, fewer worries, and a true sense of well-being. Take only what you truly need. Your body will thank you for it. 9. High-dose omega-3 fish oil. If you visit any pharmacy or grocery store these days, you'll see entire shelves lined with fish oil and omega-3 supplements. Maybe you or someone you know started taking them after hearing that omega-3s are a miracle for heart health, memory, or even joint pain. For many older Americans, a bottle of fish oil is as much a staple as their morning coffee. You may have read that it can thin the blood, lower cholesterol, or keep the brain sharp. Taking an extra capsule or two each day might feel like a small step toward protecting your future, especially when you want to stay healthy and independent for years to come. But let's pause for a moment. Could taking high doses of fish oil or omega-3 supplements be risky? It's easy to fall into the habit of more is better, especially when something is sold over the counter and labeled as natural. We tend to believe that what's good for us in small amounts will only be better in larger amounts. But for those of us over 65, our bodies play by different rules. Here's what's happening inside. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, are indeed essential for the heart and brain. They help lower inflammation and can support healthy cholesterol levels. But when you take high-dose fish oil supplements, especially without your doctor's guidance, you may tip the balance too far. Fish oil acts as a natural blood thinner. At moderate levels, this can help prevent clots, but in higher doses, it can make it harder for your blood to clot when you need it. This increases the risk of easy bruising, internal bleeding, and, most concerning, bleeding strokes, where a blood vessel in the brain bursts. This is especially true if you're already taking medications like aspirin, warfarin, or other blood thinners. Older adults are particularly sensitive because their bodies become less efficient at processing fats and medications. The signs of trouble can be subtle: more frequent nosebleeds, unusual bruises, or feeling weaker after even minor injuries. Sometimes the first sign is something serious, like a sudden headache or difficulty speaking, symptoms that should never be ignored. So, what's a safe and practical approach? First, focus on getting your omega-3s from real foods, like grilled salmon, canned tuna, or even walnuts and flaxseed. These natural sources provide balanced nutrition without the risk of overdose. If your doctor has recommended a supplement, make sure you take only the dose prescribed, and always share your full list of medications and vitamins at each appointment. Never start a new supplement, just to be safe, without talking to your healthcare provider, especially if you're taking blood thinners or have a history of bleeding problems. Let me share a story. Mrs. Green, age 74, started taking high-dose fish oil capsules after reading that it would protect her heart. She didn't tell her doctor, thinking it was harmless. A few months later, she noticed dark bruises on her arms and had a scary episode of a sudden, severe headache. Her doctor found that her blood wasn't clotting well, partly due to the fish oil. With her doctor's help, she switched to eating fish twice a week and stopped the extra pills. She felt better, safer, and more confident in her daily choices. Remember, health is about balance and listening to your body. The more is better approach doesn't always work, especially as we age. When in doubt, check with your doctor, trust in moderation, and know that small, thoughtful choices can help you enjoy life's best years, free from worry and full of vitality. Your story matters, and you deserve to live it well. As we've explored today, not all vitamins are the harmless helpers we often believe them to be. For those of us enjoying life beyond 65, it's easy to assume that taking more supplements will only boost our health. But as you've learned, some vitamins, when taken in high doses or without guidance, can quietly raise serious risks, like stroke or bleeding, that affect the quality and length of our golden years. The key takeaway is simple but powerful. Balance matters. Your body changes over time, and what worked before might need adjustment now. Instead of chasing every vitamin fad or piling on more pills, it's about making thoughtful, informed choices. Focus on nourishing your body with wholesome foods, stay connected with your healthcare team, and always speak up about the supplements you're taking. That small conversation could make all the difference. Remember the stories we shared, real people who faced challenges but took control by learning, asking questions, and making gentle changes. Their journeys remind us that it's never too late to protect yourself, improve your health, and enjoy every moment with family and friends. Your health is your most valuable asset. Protect it wisely. Let curiosity and care guide your choices. And above all, know that you're not alone on this path. We're in this together, walking step by step toward stronger, safer, and happier years ahead. If you found this video helpful, please share your thoughts or questions below. I'd love to hear about your experiences and support you on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trusted tips tailored just for you. Here's to your health, your happiness, and many bright days to come.